Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back with another video. How y'all doing? I just wanted to talk about or review or complain or I don't know. I'm sure there's a million videos of people doing this. I just kind of wanted to talk about the Black Ops 4, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So I've gotten the Call of Duty game every year since the Call of Duty 4, which came out in 2007, and I stopped or I didn't get it. Well, actually, Activision, I think, gave it to me last year. The year before, I just got the Call of Duty 4 remaster. I didn't play, like the other one that it came with. I'm talking about 2060, the Infinite Warfare. I didn't even play that. I just played the advanced, no, the Call of Duty 4 remake, that one, the good one that they fixed. That's the one I played. But other than that, I pretty much kind of got all of them up until this point. And last year I probably wouldn't have bought it unless they gave it to me. But I gotta say, I'm not even gonna complain because this really isn't even Call of Duty. It's not. What is this? Like, what? It's not even. Call of Duty used to be like, they got your single player with a story and a campaign. You do the missions, then you do that, and you go to the multiplayer, and then the multiplayer is based around, the setting, the general setting, and maps and locations and, plot of the story. And so, like, this mission, we get like the multiplayer map, and you play the different modes on the map. And then the Call of Duty 5, you got the zombies, and you go in, you play this, which is 10 years old this fall. You can do that, and then you got, sometimes there's another mode. This friggin' thing, like this isn't even Call of Duty, because the whole thing is there's no single player. So as soon as there's no single player, you got all these people saying it's terrible. I'm just going to go on and just, hold on a second, let me just read. I'm sure there's a lot of loud people complaining about this. I'm just going to type in Black Ops 4 reaction. Okay, we just got a bunch of faces and thumbnails. Yep. We got just more boisterous faces and thumbnails. We got, somebody took a reaction and then just put them all together. There's a channel, Mashup TV, took a bunch of reactions and put them all together. It's a bunch of people in hats with headphones. So it's the same thing. It's all, everybody's just giving the same, reaction to this. So I'm not doing that. I'm just going to tell you what it's about, or essentially what's going on, what the issue is. So this is what's going on. So I put this up here. This is from The Onion. It's a headline, kind of a headline from The Onion from a few years ago. It says, Apple unveils panicked man with no ideas. So it's basically satire on how Apple, they'll announce stuff, in the fall for that, gotta pad those Q4 sales with, they do it every year, new iPhone, new whatever, right? And so people think, people say that, Steve Jobs died, ever since then, increasingly more now, the stuff Apple sells, it's not really innovative. Like, maybe Steve Jobs would announce, like, the first iPhone. It was unbelievable, right? Nobody'd ever seen it, and it was great, But now it's kind of like it's just the same thing. There's less innovation, and so it's kind of a funny, swipe at that they're kind of out of ideas. And so for Call of Duty, essentially what's going on here is a few things. Number one, the reason why you're getting this thing, this one is a few things. Number one, as far as economics go, this is a chart from this is from EA. I'm gonna try to put it up from Activision if I can find it after I record this. That'll be up there, but at least there's the chart from EA as far as their earnings go. So the economics of this is the people who make games, Rockstar, GTA, with the shark cards, it's the same thing. They want to give you a game as a service. They don't want you to go pay $60, which is too much, $60 once and own the game, and that's it. They want you to, they want you to pay the $60, but then what they want is people say microtransactions. I'm not going to say that because that's beating a dead horse. The horse is very dead. Everybody's familiar with that. But it's not so much microtransactions as it's just reoccurring purchases. They want you to come back. So and this is happening everywhere, not just games. Pretty much everything. Music. So iTunes, instead of buying a song, they want you to get Apple Music, and then you just pay a little bit every month to listen to the songs, but you don't own them. Uber, you pay for every ride, but you don't own the car. Netflix, you pay every month, but you don't own the movies. Everything's going this way where these companies figured out that, you know, it's more sustainable for them to invest in these capital assets, where if it's, you know, Uber, it's the fleet of people driving cars. If it's Apple, it's just kind of, you know, leasing out the music, I guess you could say. With GTA, it's the content that really doesn't cost them a lot of money to make, that they get everybody to have to pay a little bit for every time it comes out. With Call of Duty, it's going to be the DLC and the social aspects of it. It's just across the board, this is what's going on. And so Call of Duty, they figured, you know, which I don't like this at all, which is why I'm not buying this thing. You know, if the single player, they don't make money, which is why this is the same reason why Rockstar never updated the single player or made any new content for the GTA 5 single player, because they're not really making any money from that. Like, if you think back to years ago, like GTA 4 had, you know, I think there was like a couple DLCs, right? Like the episodes from Liberty City, right? And then Call of Duty games, you know, kind of pre-2013, you would just go and you know, it's like $20 and you get 5-6 maps, some zombies maps, and that was it. But they don't want to do that because they want you to have to instead, you know, you pay, you know, a couple dollars and you unlock you know, like a weapon, or you get a new outfit, or they want you to just pay just a little bit to get that, but do it a lot and for an extended period of time. With single player, and I don't know why people can't figure this out, instead of ranting and putting a, you know, boisterous face in a thumbnail, this is what's going on. It's really not that complicated. With single player, they're not making any money from that. Yeah, they make no money from the single player. Okay, you play it, you don't buy any, you don't unlock things to buy, you don't, you know, like there's no maps, it's not updated, it's just a story that they pay voice actors and CGI people to put on the suit with the balls and, you know, do the little things and the green screen, and they invest this money into developing the single player, and there's just no return. Like, it's not cash flow positive. It's just, you play the story and you enjoy it, and that's it. But they're not making money from you enjoying it. What they do make money from is you keep buying maps. You keep buying, you know, with like the Fortnite with the V-Bucks. I've never even really looked at that, but from what I understand, you just buy some outfits, you buy some dances, you pay a little bit, you keep doing it, right? So it's basically the game is a service. They want you to pay for the game as a service, just like all these other things, which I don't do. I buy Blu-rays. I don't pay for Netflix. I just own the Blu-ray. I got a friggin' war chest of Blu-rays because I just own all the movies. I don't need to. You buy the movie, I don't want to rent it, or the music. You buy the song. I don't. You know what I mean? Because I see what's going on. I went to the business school. I get it. Just try to take my word for it. I understand that this is what's going on. And so they get rid of the single player, which really just like unravels the whole thing. Because if there's no single player, there's no story. And if there's no story, there's no plot. And if there's no plot, there's no setting. And if there's no setting, there's really no game. All it is, like this Black Ops 4, it's really Black Ops 3. Like, all they had to do, this is how cheap they are, all right? They didn't have to pay for like the actors. Well, I'm sure they had to do it a little bit for the different modes, but nowhere near like if they had to develop a whole single player campaign with the missions and all that. So they cut all those costs, right? They get rid of that, and all you have to do is you take Black Ops 3, change some outfits, change the way some characters look, make some new maps. Really like the lesser expensive things as far as developing the stuff goes. Think about the original Black Ops. The original Black Ops had a friggin' media campaign in early 2010, early to mid 2010. That I remember this because I actually thought it was kind of neat at the time. You don't remember this, but if you remember it was called like GK Nova 6. It was like this code, and every now and then they had like a new thing, and you had to figure out the code, and you figured out the details of the game. It's basically modeled upon the CIA's MK Ultra experiments back in the day, but because a lot of it was like CIA and the Black Ops and the Vietnam and the future and the all, you know, Black Ops was really cool. Like there's JFK and it's the 60s and it's Cuba and it's the Bay of Pigs and then you're in Vietnam and you're in Russia and it's the Soviets and it was awesome, right? This whole story and it's cool and there's missions and it's history and the stuff actually happened, but some of it didn't. And then there's JFK and then there's like, it was amazing, tremendous game, right? But this friggin' thing, 8 years later, there's none of that, right? So all they did, I don't know how people don't figure, well, it's kind of complicated, but it's pretty simple when you think about it. If you just get rid of all that, the stuff you have to invest in, there's a lot of money that goes into that, and just strip it down to the strictly cash flow positive activities where, you know, instead of focusing on a game people enjoy, it's just a game where everything you do makes money. So every map you make, you're going to sell. Every outfit you make, you're going to make a DLC. Every zombies map, you're going to sell. It's just, you're just cutting the thing down to what you're selling. And so if you look at the game, the overall aesthetics of it, what I did was I looked, because I knew it was coming out, or they were announcing it yesterday. So I looked up Black Ops 4, and the first thing that came up in Google was a picture of this dude here, on the cover with like the mohawk, which that's, you know, people got weird hair now, so I'm sure that'll help it sell. With the thing with some kind of future blaster, and he's all tooled up. It's basically the last few games. It's kind of the same thing, right? And people said, "Oh, it's not the futuristic game because there's no wall jumping." So they just took stuff out. It's even cheaper then. They just took things out of it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I mean. It's like, well, actually, I do. I actually really do know like exactly the economics of this. So it's kind of even worse than if I didn't know. But it's really like if you take Black Ops 3, it's even worse than because it's not even. It's kind of watered down. It's not even that they just change the outfits and the weapons and some different things a little bit, make a new game, new maps, and just here it is, $60, pay up, and then you pay for your DLC, and they'll make a zombies map, and that's it. And then the other thing they did is they got this blackout mode, which is like it's like the it's like the Fortnite. So they're copying the players unknowns, the game's name's too long. That's the problem with that one. They just take the battle royale and just copy it and just make that a thing. And because they're following, they're chasing. They used to set the trends like the zombies map. That was a trend that they like zombies. The whole idea of the zombies thing they kind of started in 2008 with the first game. Like the original zombies map wasn't even supposed to be. It was like an extra thing that was going to get cut that they left in as like a bonus that some guy who worked on the game made in his spare time. Like that's the story I think I'm familiar with. And now it's turning a whole thing. Now they're just ripping stuff off. Yeah, play the battlegrounds, the Fortnite. Let's just copy it. They're just copying the modes. They're not investing in coming up with new things. This is a company that's cutting costs hard. They are cutting costs. It's cost containment, and it's smart. Like, I mean, good for them. They're gonna make a lot more money doing it this way. At least in my opinion. I mean, I don't know how you couldn't when you're doing it that way. But, so you got that, they're copying that mode, and then the other thing they talked about is that, which I don't believe this thing for a second, they said that it was never designed to have single player. BS, it wasn't supposed to have single player. Because what I heard was that it had it and they couldn't finish and then they just had to scrap it. That's what I heard, which is, I believe that. Because this thing is sad. This is a sad... It's not like each one gets better. This one's like it's got a lot less going on with it. And so just think about this. If you have no single player, no story, and no plot, no setting, what is it? What's left? What is the... It's just, here's a map and you just do the same thing, you know? So I don't know what to tell you. And then they said that the future games, like next year, the Infinity Ward game, which I'm actually excited about. I don't know squat about it, but Infinity Ward, I tend to like theirs more. Will have a story. It sounds like a conventional thing. It's the 10-year anniversary of Modern Warfare 2. I was thinking they'd remaster that and come out with it this year. I guess they're too cheap to even do that. But, you know, so that's, you know, that'll be back. But this thing here, I don't know what this is. It's a game. It shouldn't cost $60. It's not really. They didn't put $60 into this thing. Of course, it's still gonna sell just because of what it is, and there'll be a commercial during an NBA game, like probably tomorrow night, where it's like, like the future's black and all this. Do all that. I think they got James Harden to wear the hat with the 4 on it, so they're gonna pump this thing up. They're really pumping this one up, like they do. That's what they're gonna do. But as far as a game, it's really not a game. It's just the same friggin'. It's the same. I mean, literally, even the logo is half-assed. Look at the logo of it. Instead of like the Roman numeral 4, like IV, they just took the one for 3 and just added another line next to it. Like, that's all. They couldn't even do the Roman numeral, like, because the I and the V, maybe that's gonna be more difficult. Just get the 3 and just draw another, letter I next to it, and now it's 4. I mean, that's sad. It's really just sad more than anything else. I'm not really even upset about it because, of course, this is what they're doing. I'm not shocked. It's really just kind of sad more than it's a sad set of circumstances here. But that's really what it is. It's just, this is cost containment at its finest right here. So there you go. I won't keep rambling on because I'm just going to keep saying the same things. That's really what we're looking at here as far as this thing goes. So there you go. There's your breakdown. So if I go to YouTube and I typed in Black Ops 4 reaction, it is currently 5:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday, May 18th, and so like that's what I'm looking at right now. I type in Black Ops 4 reaction on YouTube. I've got channel Beastie Reacts, title Call of Duty Black Ops 4 reaction, with like half the thumbnail is the cover and then half the thumbnail is the guy making a face. We got It's a Primate here. I usually don't talk about other channels. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing, just so you know I'm not making it up. Official Call of Duty with the little R in there, so you know it's for real. Restricted copyright. Black Ops 4 multiplayer reveal trailer reaction. So by the way, I was going to do a trailer. That's what I did before. Like, I put the trailer up and then I talk about it. There's really nothing to analyze here that I couldn't just tell you in like 10 minutes. So I didn't do that. They didn't waste their time on the game. We got Black Ops 4 trailer battle royale hype. Okay, so somebody's hyping it up, and it's just kind of the same thing. And this mashup TV just took all the reactions and put them all together for just a really fat reaction. Just a one big, circle reaction there, if you know what I mean. And then other than that, that's kind of it. That's really all we got here. React, and then there's just the same guy reacting again, to the different, that's, there you go, that's all it is. So yeah, that's all I got for you. That's where we're at in 2018 in America. We're just slapping it together again. So hopefully next year it'll be better. I don't know. I'm not buying this one. It's cheap. It's what it is. But anyways, there you go. I hope you don't buy it early. I mean, buy if you're happy about this stuff, then buy it. Go ahead. But at least that's what's going on. It's just, if cost containment were a game, it would be this game. So there you go. All right, guys. Other than that, until next time, I'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching.